Yo, people, what's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football, and today I'm here with an Arsenal news update. We're going to be talking about the Premier League and what's going on with Manchester City, how it affects Arsenal, how it affects all the other Premier League clubs. Also, Arsenal are linked to a bag of different players. We haven't had a transfer video for about, what, 5 days now? There's so many people we got to talk about. Also, the academy players, we got Loan Watch, we got Youri Tielemans conversations are back up and running. Declan Rice, apparently they want a British transfer record for Declan Rice. Apparently, another Premier League top six club bid 100 million in the summer for Declan Rice. Unbelievable. Arsenal still stay 5 points clear of Manchester City after losing to Everton, and now we face Brentford. Should we rest some players? Let me know in the comment section. Also, Gabriel Jesus, ladies and gentlemen, big update on Gabriel Jesus. He's back up and running in training, and it's good to hear. And Arsenal also are linked to Milinkovic-Savic. We're also linked to Mitoma from Brighton. We're still linked to Caicedo. We're linked to Locatelli. Guys, when I tell you today, I'm going to break down everything. But before you go anywhere, make sure you hit that goddamn like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. And let's get this show started. You already know what it is. Eagle Talks Football. Yes, people, what's going on? As you guys already know, my name's Igal, and we're here on Eagle Talks Football. Today, we're going to do a big Arsenal update show where we just talk about everything that's happened over the last 24 hours, 48 hours, even 3 days ago to tell you guys all the latest on Arsenal. And you know what? The games are going to be coming quick and fast, so we're not going to be able to do these as often over the next coming days. But yeah, we got Kunle in the house. If you guys don't already know, from One Touch TV, make sure you do go check out his channel and subscribe to his channel. The link is in the description. But yo, Kunle, talk to me. What are you saying?
Oh yeah, now my people. It's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you got to understand. And the reason why there's a little bit of extra bass in my voice is because Harry Kane done the Lord's work on the weekend, and also the Lord's work continued into Monday. And Man City are all over the place. So welcome everyone that's in the comment section. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please check out my channel too. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. We got 20 people already in the chat. Let me know, guys. How is everybody feeling in the chat? What are you guys up to? What is everyone saying today? There's a lot to talk about, but I guess the first place to begin is what took place Monday, the drop of the massive news that dropped on our head in front of our faces, which was the Manchester City situation and everything that had to do with the Manchester City situation. Personally, I was a little bit shocked by the severity of the charges, the amount of charges that they faced. Obviously, we already know what happened on the weekend. We lost to Everton. Subsequently, then they dropped points to Tottenham. And now we find ourselves back to where we were at the beginning of the season. The title race well and truly is a two-horse race between Manchester City and Arsenal. But now you have Manchester United creeping in. You have Newcastle creeping in. Because if you're going to say these two are in the title race, are we going to start putting Ten Hag in the picture? Are we going to start putting other people in the picture? These are the things we got to talk about. But first things first, do we talk about the weekend or do we go straight into the FFP? Because I feel like the weekend has become completely irrelevant because of what happened with the
Real
FFP.
talk.
The weekend's results became an afterthought. FFP became the main thing. And to the point where, could you just mute yourself for a second? FFP became the main thing to the point where other Premier League clubs now want City. They now want City to get banned or immediately get more punishment. They want City to be out. They don't want City to get any breathing room. It is actually a serious thing that's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You guys don't understand how serious this is. This is one of the biggest scandals in Premier League history, probably the biggest. And Manchester City not only could be facing instant relegation, but they could be facing a points deduction and potential large payments in fees that they would have to pay if found guilty. At this moment in time, it is still reported allegations, but they have over 100 charges on Manchester City. Bro, I want to know what your thoughts are and what's everyone's thoughts. And we're going to get into how this has ramifications towards Arsenal also as a Premier League rival. But yeah, let's get it started. What are you saying?
To be honest, I don't wish downfall upon anybody in it, but you gotta be excited. The team that we're in a title race with again are under investigation, and I don't think there'll be any penalties that take place this season. Personally, I don't think that like points deductions or anything would affect them personally. But next season, if they broke the rules, they got to be punished for it at the end of the day. But who knows? Because of all this stuff in the papers and the legal implications that are going on right now, it could lead to them getting sidetracked or distracted or whatever. People were telling me that, if they do get sidetracked, there's going to be an asterisk on your Premier League title if you win this season. Bro, rival fans can use any narrative they want, bro. If I win my first Premier League title after 18 years, there's no one or nothing that can rain on my parade. I'm going to be unbearable. You better pray it doesn't happen. But Bun City, man.
You know what? The thing is, when people talk about the level of money spent and the net spend and all these other things, football, the highest net spend since 2008 goes to Manchester City, second Man United, right? So there's a lot of dodgy things happening, but as rivals, we're obviously going to try to look at it as neutral as possible. But of course, we're not impartial. We do have a person in the fight. So these are just some of the things that are coming out, bro. Manchester City have the highest net spend, and net spend is obviously skewed at times. But of course, this is one metric that they're looking at. Also, if you just look at their actual spending, their spending alone has been ridiculous from the Manchester City point of view. You also have the subsequent situation where you look at how they obtain their income. People are saying that they've done it through illegal sponsorships. The Premier League themselves have come out with a statement about the situation. This is a situation at this moment in time that the Premier League clubs are the ones that want Man City to get punished. Rival Premier League clubs want to see Manchester City go down. It's not even just the Premier League alone. It's rival clubs. It's the other 18.
But
18
Egal,
want
like
to see them.
it's one of those things where you can't really blame the rival fans for having this stance, because at the end of the day, they all feel cheated, right? Because there's a club that's come in, cheat the system, and then they've been spoilt with all these titles, this newfound history that all these Man City fans are talking about. I'm intrigued to see how harsh the punishments are, because if it goes to the point where City get like a points deduction at the start of next season, 15 points. I heard some of the rumors been 15 points potentially. Starting the season with 15 points deduction, boy. First of all, Pep's leaving, bro. In the summer,
they might get relegated to the point where they're non-league and they don't have any league to play for.
I don't think they'll make that much of an example of them personally, all the way down to that. But boy, all I know is this: they're definitely going to get caught for something. So what that means, if he's a man of his word, Pep's leaving in the summer, bro. And when Pep leaves in the summer, it's going to speed up the decline of Manchester City. I'm not saying it was going to last forever, but I always said as soon as Pep leaves, there's going to be problems like similar to Fergie, maybe similar to Wenger, that City have to go through. So without Pep going now, unexpectedly, I want to see how many City fans become Newcastle fans. That's what I want to see.
You know what else? This right here needs to be spoken about. The fact that other Premier League rivals are demanding that Manchester City get relegated if found guilty from breaking financial rules. Let's be honest. This is catastrophic for City, but on the other hand, for Arsenal, for other Premier League clubs, this now gives us another opportunity to be to gain some success. Now, I'm not saying go back and strip them of everything. I know Liverpool and Manchester United fans want that because it adds another 3 league titles to each club. But in my
It still does nothing for Spurs.
No, it does. You know what? They might get a League Cup out of it. That's it. They get.
No, it was. Did they play? They didn't play City in the League Cup, did they?
They did. Jose quit just before it. Remember?
Damn
it. They get one trophy out of it. But yeah, getting back to that, people were saying Arteta's involved. That's how serious people don't want Arsenal to win. They're like, yo, Arteta had to be involved. He must have known something. La 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 la. Arteta snitched. This, that. That's what people are saying. And I'm just going to say there's no evidence that Mikel Arteta is involved in anything. As an assistant coach, he doesn't know he doesn't deal with the finances. He doesn't deal with the issues of the club. And even Pep Guardiola, it seems like, is absolved of all of these things, even though it took place during his stewardship. So we're going to have to wait and see what takes place.
Yeah, I don't think any of the coaching staff has any involvement in any of the dealings. So they'll be fine. So, but it's always a good narrative for opposition fans to try and build something behind Arsenal to throw us off. So do you know what you said something at the start of the show? I don't think they're part of it, but let's start to put a little bit of pressure on them. Man United into the title race.
You know who is part of it? An Arsenal member of the board of I think of Arsenal's board is one of the people who've gotten involved in making sure this case goes to the Premier League. An Arsenal member, Murray Rosen, will lead the independent commission for the Man City case.
But you know the journalists did everything they could to find out what football team this guy supported, man. What a headline. What a freaking story. He's going to do everything he can to make sure they pay the 100%. Doing the Lord's work. Big up.
That's nuts. That's nuts to think that is a situation. But yeah, let's now just shift away from the Man City talk and let's now get to the actual PL, because there's a lot going on in the Premier League. And we look at the Premier League table, we're still up there. We're still doing our thing. We're still performing at the level that we're performing at, and City are still 5 points below us. The title race heating up this weekend. Both teams getting an X next to their name. Everything as usual. We play each other next week Wednesday. So at this moment in time, are you more or less worried about the next game? Because I'm not too worried about the next game versus City.
To be honest, after playing them in the FA Cup, that's when I fully relaxed when it comes to inviting City to the Emirates Stadium. I thought they showed us their best at the time. We didn't show our best. And what beat us was a random Nathan Ake goal, which is definitely not going to happen often. So if that's all they had to work with, I was confident. Obviously, we've lost against Everton. And you and I both know Mikel Arteta. He doesn't like to make the same mistakes twice. His teams love to bounce back. And I think he's going to utilize something from the game last season at the Emirates. I don't know what clip he's going to use, but I think some of the incidents that happened in that last game, last season, where we dominated them and still lost, he's going to use that as extra motivation. So I'm actually not scared to play anyone in the Premier League right now. I think we should go there and win. If we do go there and win and we beat Brentford, I'm finally joining your side, Igal, bro. Officially.
What took you so long? What's taking you this long?
This is it, right? One thing I've always done is not trying to fall into peer pressure in it. So everyone likes to dictate when you should be on board. Oh, Arsenal have done this, Arsenal have done that. You should be on board now. Look, as soon as I feel that we can win the league, I will say it shamelessly. I even said it on previous streams last week. I said, if we beat Everton last weekend, I was on board, because for me, that showed after the transfer, Travago, after losing to City, after everyone chatting rubbish about us, about our transfer dealings, we still ended up going to a difficult away stadium, which we struggle with on previous seasons, and get the W. If we had won that game convincingly on Saturday, I would have already been on side. So we lost that game. We got bullied. It made me feel like the old school Arsenal, bro.
Let's just take a second. What really happened? When we talk about bullied, I just feel like it was a situation where against Everton, everyone in the comment section, let me know what you think took place, because I want to know what you thought, and then I'll respond. Because for me, I'll just wait. You go ahead.
All right. So for me, what happened as soon as I saw the midfield three, I thought I knew it was a long day. I knew the tactics, typical Sean Dyche, and everyone was dissing him for doing bleep tests last week. But he was obviously seeing who can last for 90 minutes against Arsenal. Who can I trust on? Who are the runners, the power horses that I can trust to go to battle with Arsenal? So he said, I don't need any creativity. I'm going to just go for bullies in the middle of the park. And what those bullies ended up doing is keeping Odegaard away from the ball. And what ended up happening, I don't know if you noticed in the first half, Partey was kind of trying to dictate the play a little bit too much. I always say if you hear the commentator mention your DM too much in a game, that means he's not having the game we want him to have, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Personally, the best games are when you don't really notice the DM because he's plugging in all the holes and covering all the space. So we played right into their hands. They bullied us and they took advantage of set pieces, which we're normally good at. But the height and the power, we just didn't find a way to cope. There was things that Arteta could have done in that game, though, earlier, that could have got us the result, but he hasn't done. And typically, our manager tends to learn from his mistakes. So I see him righting these wrongs going forward, but he made some howlers in decision making on the weekend. Personally, for me,
I personally don't think subbing off Jorginho for Partey was a situation that was in the best interest of the game, but I think it was a pre-planned substitution prior to the game, where it was like at that moment in time we're going to sub him in just to get.
Agreed.
And then when it comes to Trossard for Gabriel Martinelli, I think Trossard should have potentially maybe even started the game, but the fact that Gabriel Martinelli got a new contract, it made sense that he started. The goal that we conceded was not really at fault of anybody, in my opinion. It was just we switched off at a set piece. I couldn't point blame at any individual. I just felt like, you know what, those goals, you concede those goals at time to time. When Odegaard came off, Fabio Vieira came on, I didn't even notice him, but Tomiyasu made a big difference in comparison to Ben White. Ben White wasn't on his job that day. Overall, I looked at these players and I say to yourself, besides Zinchenko, the two center halves, and Saka, everyone else was off. They had an off game. Yeah. And you can see all the green. You can see all the greens lit up here in the midfield. It's because they kept us in check. Whenever Saka had the ball, these two were on him. Whenever Martinelli had the ball, these two were on him. Whenever the ball was on one side of the pitch, they were in a back three. Whenever the ball was on the other side of the pitch, this was the back three. The midfield had Onana going forward, the Corey going forward, Kevin Lewin going forward, and these guys whipping in balls. It was absolute carnage in the sense that we were not prepared. I felt like this was one game where we were the worst. We were the least prepared for this game, and maybe it was a little bit of naivety. Maybe this was the game plan.
Very much so.
And maybe this is the blueprint to stop Arsenal. I hope it's not true, but could this be the blueprint?
I disagree, man. I won't lie to you. I don't mind if more teams come and play against us like that, because I believe in my manager. I believe he understands, okay, this is what teams are going to think. Let's find a solution. And I believe he will. Because there's like in that game, let's say Jesus plays that game, Martinelli gets more space and maybe he gets more involved in the game. In hindsight, maybe I maybe would have started Trossard for that factor that Martinelli needs space to be effective. So Everton had locked up that space for him to get in behind. So there was a lot of the time he was getting the ball to feet and he didn't know what to do. Martinelli's not a dribbler. He's an impact guy that I can beat you with my pace and my maneuvering, but he's not an intricate dribbler. So maybe I think Trossard should have started in hindsight, but at the very least, we could all, I know you could see it, we could all see Martinelli was getting no joy for the whole of that first half. So he had no right to even come on to that second half, personally. I have no qualms with Jorginho, because first game we were already getting bullied, so I'm not ready to criticize anything he's done yet. But overall, I just believe it was the first game I felt, that we thought by just showing up to the game, we were going to win the game. That's the first time I felt like that. But I think Arteta will get these boys in check for Brentford.
My question is, who do we line up with in the next game?
Trossard has to start that game, 100%. And Tomiyasu for Ben White.
Tomiyasu for Ben White? Trossard to start. Let me know, people, in the comments. What do you guys think we should line up with? What do you think the lineup should be going into the next game? Because in my opinion, I'm just gonna pull this up quickly to show you guys what I think my lineup is going to be. Right? I'm going into the game and I'm saying to myself, you know what? With obviously Ramsdale's gonna start. No question about that. No question about Ramsdale starting. Right? Right back. Left back. We know Zinchenko is going to start. Am I wrong? No way Tierney's coming back in the team at this moment in time.
Tierney should have probably started the Everton game in hindsight.
Ben White or Tomiyasu, I might give Tomiyasu a run to start this game. Center halves, obviously, Saliba and Gabriel.
Quickly, I want to talk about the Ben White thing, because people might think I'm being a bit harsh on him, because it's not because I don't think Ben's done an exceptional job this season. Sometimes you have to make use of your squad. His form hasn't been the best since the United game, I think. So it's not like Tomiyasu's a bad option. Give him a run of games. Don't just start Tomiyasu against Brentford. I think he should start the next couple of games. Let Ben sit on the sidelines for a bit, maybe adapt, watch a little bit of the things that Tomiyasu adds to the game, and then come back fresh after the City game, personally. So big up Ben, though.
Yeah, so we're just going to fill in the rest of the team here. Just to let everyone know what we're doing. But while we're doing that, throw your comments in the comment section. We'll get to them immediately after this segment. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, the front three, I think, has to change this week. Eddie Nketiah is going to start up top, Bukayo Saka over there. And going into that home game versus Brentford, what an opportunity to give Trossard his first Arsenal start. So in this team, I've made 2 changes. I've put Trossard in, and I put Tomiyasu in. And I feel like give Ben White a rest, give Martinelli a rest, and just change it up a slight bit. And even if you want to go Zinchenko for Tierney, I think that's too many changes. But
yeah, that's a bit too much for this game.
I think that's too many changes, but at least the 2 changes I'm okay with. So for now, this is the lineup I'm going with going into that Brentford game. And I just feel like we need to rest some of these guys. They get too much. We play them too much, too often. Give them too many games, week in, week out. And I just feel like they need a little bit of rest, a little bit of rotation, a little bit of changing in personnel to maybe give some people some fighting spirit back. Because Martinelli has been off it since Jesus got injured. And maybe Trossard coming in and starting will be what he needs to get himself his first Arsenal goal.
For sure. And you know what? I don't know if you remember when he came on for Trossard in the City game in the FA Cup, he looked very explosive after that, like as an impact player. Maybe we utilize him as an impact player for the next couple of games just to play himself back into form. And my ideal scenario would be on Saturday, is we are comfortably in control of the game come 17th minutes, we're maybe 2-0 up. I would love to see maybe a Martinelli through the middle and Trossard on the left and Saka on the right. I wouldn't mind seeing that for a few minutes, because personally, I still see Martinelli long-term through the middle because of how he plays. But I thought we'd get a chance to see it this season. And I have a question for you about Zinchenko.
Just before we do that, I just want to mention to everyone in the comments, let me know, would you rather start Trossard or Martinelli, or would you rather start Ben White or Tomiyasu? Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, go ahead. What are you going to say? Yeah,
the question I have about Zinchenko, because a lot of the talks in summer was one of the reasons why Arteta's bringing him to the club is obviously his versatility, and you can see how he doubles up in midfield and stuff. I wouldn't mind actually seeing sometimes Tierney as the left back, Zinchenko and Partey maybe, and Odegaard, to see what that looks like. So I'm not saying Xhaka needs to be dropped, bro. I'm not saying that, but I would like to see what we were kind of teased with in the summer. Do you know what I'm saying? We've not seen it once, Zinchenko, in any other position but left back. And I'd like to see what it looks like. Maybe it could add something different to that midfield at times.
You know what? I think Ben White. I don't know if you know, but Charles Watts did an article yesterday stating that there could be a possibility that Ben White gets dropped for Tomiyasu. So I wouldn't be surprised in the same breath that Martinelli gets dropped. When it comes to Kieran Tierney for Zinchenko, it's night and day. The two are completely night and day. Jorginho, Elneny
I
in the
disagree, but
midfield.
that's for another
One
stream.
second. Jorginho and Elneny in the midfield. Unfortunately, Elneny is injured and he had surgery. He will be out for the rest of the calendar season. And when it comes to Jorginho is not going to start. I don't think Jorginho starts unless the Partey is not fit. That is the only way I see Jorginho starting. Iga, there might be a change because we play midweek Wednesday. Yes, 100%. Sub Eddie Nketiah for Martinelli. That could be a potential possibility. Get the likes up, people. Big up Millie in the house. Big up to the sister. I want to keep Balogun. Hope Arsenal do. You know what? That might be a good segue to the next topic. Balogun. If you don't know what Balogun's doing right now in Ligue 1, Ligue 1 is full of Arsenal rejects, and Balogun, who's a loanee, Tavares, who's a loanee, and these guys are just putting up numbers. By the way, you know who the two leading goal scorers are in that league right now?
Two Nigerians, bro. Niger boys.
Lacazette.
Oh, I thought Muffy was there. Okay, Muffy's been replaced. Okay, Lacazette, you know. Rah.
This is crazy. Crazy. You got Lacazette and Balogun as the two leading goal scorers in the French league right now. Mental. I would have never thought that would be the case. Never in a million years would have thought that. But you know what? Balogun, I think the club how much is Balogun worth? How much would you sell him for? 50, 60, 70?
With English tax, 50. Why not? Why not?
50
Liverpool have been
million?
bumping clubs for years with these English players. So why not? Why don't we do it? 50 million with English tax. Why not?
I think he's balling out. And when we do loan watch and we actually check out some of the players who are on loan, a lot of these guys on loan in France are doing really good, you know. A lot of the guys that are on loan in France, like Pepe, Nuno Tavares, and my guy Balogun, they are all performing outstandingly well. Can you just mute yourself for 1 second?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm just gonna get this up here and show everyone what I'm talking about. So you have loan watch here, and you can see here that Balogun is the leading goal scorer in the league with Rennes with 14 goals. He got a hat trick the other day, and he leads the way amongst familiar faces with Lacazette in the cut also. Then you go to Nuno Tavares. Nuno Tavares is actually one of the funniest footballers on the planet. Do you know what the guy did? The guy this has to be called a Nuno special. That's the only way you can. That's the only thing you can call it, a Nuno special. The guy scored and got a red card in the same game. I'm not joking.
Hey, bro, he's legendary, bro. That guy is comical. Do you want him to come back to the club next season, by the way?
Look at this. I just want to show you guys, for anyone who doesn't believe it. The guy scored a goal. He got a 7 out of 10 still. He scored a goal, got a 7 out of 10, and got a red card and got sent off. This guy is legendary. It's actually hilarious. Some of the stuff
You can't write this shit. But I want to
see with these guys.
I want to big up Balogun though. Balogun, if you're watching this show, make sure you pick the Super Eagles. We need you. We need support for Osimhen. I beg. Take your form to the Super Eagles.
He might go USA.
Yeah, I know.
He might go USA. People saying Trossard must start. Get the likes up, people. Tommy must start. Do you think we'll pivot with Xhaka and Jorginho? Maybe not yet. Mudryk was 88 million. I don't know. I don't know about that. Tavares is a good winger. I don't know about that either. I just think he's a good wing back. That's what he's good wing.
Would you bring him back?
No. He doesn't suit the system. Lokonga is another guy who's gone on loan. Did he feature? has made his debut against Crystal Palace already in the 2-1 defeat versus Manchester United. I didn't see how well he did. Personally, I was just more or less focused on the result against Everton, and I didn't really get to watch too much of the Man United performance. Then you have Charlie Patino and Norton Cuffy doing their thing. Charlie Patino, by the way, is absolutely tearing up the Championship, having such a great loan. He's absolutely killing it over there. Norton Cuffy is doing well for Coventry. Sorry, he's doing well over there in action for Coventry against some of these teams. He's what was it, West Bromwich Albion in that situation. And then who else was there? Runnerson. I forgot we still owned him. Runnerson's still about. But yeah, there you go. That's that. Arthur Okonkwo's doing his thing. And I just want to touch on this guy quickly. He is absolutely balling out. Auston Trusty. If you don't know how good Auston Trusty is, let me just show you guys how good Auston Trusty is for anyone who wants to know how good this guy has been.
I wouldn't say he's balling out, bro, but he's doing well. He's doing well.
Bro,
he's doing all right.
He's playing. He's their most used player at Birmingham City, playing every game. What division are they in? Birmingham City.
Championship, in the Championship.
Yeah, they're in the Championship. Mm-hmm. He's playing every week in, week out in the Championship, and he's one of the best center halves in the Championship.
Bro, he's all right. He's not quite ready for the Prem still yet. Though. He's doing a good job. He's doing everything we asked of him, getting played regularly. He's getting minutes, but I still don't think he's ready yet, man. Good player though.
I'm just gonna say this: Auston Trusty is actually going to make us a lot of money. He is going to make us a decent amount of money. If we look back at it and we see him in a couple years' time, either get sold to another Premier League club for a decent amount of money, or get sold to Birmingham City and then make the step up to another club eventually, I could see him being a staple in some sort of way in some club in the Premier League. I really do believe he will be in and amongst the players that we either sell, or if he does get promoted, what, he's going to be the backup to the backup, or he's going to replace Rob Holding? What he's going to do?
Nah. I still think he'll do one more year on loan. Personally, we've just brought in Kiwior, so he's not going to get a lot of games next season unless we sell maybe Holding, which is a possibility. But Holding, after winning potential Premier League title, I said potential, I'm not there yet. Potential Premier League title, he might want to stay and continue with the gang. So I think. Never know. But also. Trusty coming in could also increase the following from the States as well. You know, obviously he's from the States. Yeah. Maybe that might help that brand. The owners are from the States. It might help in one sense.
I don't think Trusty's actually acquiring any American viewers for us. That's
bro. If he gets called up to the national team, I do believe he will, bro.
I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Big up Mons, Big Six Bands. He's doing his thing. Liverpool fan, honestly, he's going through a tough time, but he's staying happy.
Check on him, guys. Check on him from time to time, bro. Mental health is real.
There you go. We got some people talking about some stuff. Okay, now let's get to the fun part of the show. Now we finally get to the fun part. The part of the show that everyone's been waiting for. You know what? I wanted to touch on the Arsenal Academy. They're doing wonderful things. 2-0 down. You had these guys roar back to a 4-2 victory. Just showing that the Arsenal Academy boys are absolutely on job. They did this versus Watford in the youth FA Cup. They were down 2-0, bro. And in the second half, they came back 4 goals. Bosh. You need to go see it. It's amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to give the Young Bucks a little bit of credit there. But now, let's go straight into some of the conversations. Your favorite midfielder, Youri Tielemans, ladies and gentlemen. Your favorite midfielder that we constantly get linked to every single week of the year. Youri Tielemans is back in the lips of Arsenal media. Reportedly, Youri Tielemans is linked to Arsenal again. Yes, reports are that Youri Tielemans' contract could be running out, and Arsenal might consider signing him on a free transfer, as we have been planning to sign him for the longest time. We already have a pre-agreement for a contract with him. Manchester United have also made interest in Youri Tielemans, but at this moment in time, the new reports are that Newcastle, Manchester United, and Arsenal are the 3 clubs that are interested in the young man, the Belgian. But Arsenal might be the team that get him over the line. I don't know what you guys think. If you guys have changed your stance on Youri Tielemans, if you still
So,
want Youri Tielemans, let me know because I'm just gonna pull this up quickly. Youri Tielemans, I seen this yesterday. I think Youri Tielemans on a free. I think it was on a free in the summer. Youri Tielemans on a free in the summer to Arsenal. That is what people are saying. Youri Tielemans on a free.
do you know what I think we do in the summer? I definitely think we get two midfielders, Ego. I think we either get Caicedo and Tielemans or Rice and Tielemans. I reckon we get one of those two combinations. I don't want to skip into the Rice talk just yet until we get there, but I think we get one of those two combinations. I don't see us getting any less than two midfielders this summer. Personally, I would take him. I would definitely take him because if we bring a DM and a CM in, that puts us in great stead for challenging on all fronts next season. Personally, and Tielemans, as much as I've not been overwhelmed with his performances this season, I've not been overwhelmed with anything Leicester have really done this season, so I can't really put it down to him. But he has had some good performances. He brings goals from the midfield as well. And he's probably chomping at the bit to play for a top side. And we've seen it before when, for example, I don't know if I remember when Dwight York moved from Aston Villa to Manchester United, people thought that he couldn't raise his game, but he ended up being a treble winner in his first season and put in a formidable formation partnership with Andy Cole. So players from moving from one Premier League club to another, one more ambitious than another, could really help raise the game. And we've seen it done in the past. And I'm excited to see what Trossard does for the end of the season because of that very factor too.
Let's see what some of the people in the comment section have said. Igal, do you think realistically we could afford Jude Bellingham if City is not included? You know what? We could afford him, but would we pay the ridiculous amount of money that they would want for Jude Bellingham? As we've shown that we weren't willing to meet Chelsea for Mudryk, and we weren't willing to pay ridiculous amount of money at the end of the window for what's his name, Caicedo. We've shown in the past when the money is extreme, we don't tend to go too crazy. But
I say Caicedo for 60 million is better value for money than Bellingham for 120 million for me personally.
We're gonna talk about this in a second. Fair point, John. Mudryk did it in the Champions League. That is true. Mudryk did do it in the Champions League. We're gonna have to see if Balogun can do it in the Champions League, or is it Balogun, whichever one it is. I always mess
Balogun.
Anyways, to me, I'm just gonna say this right now. Tielemans talks is agents at this point. I don't believe Arsenal will continuously egg this guy on for a year and a half and then just sign him on a free. If we wanted him, we could have got him. I don't think we want him anymore. That's my take. I don't think we're serious about Youri Tielemans anymore. I think the days of us going for Youri Tielemans are over, and he's a young Belgian midfielder that would help us with squad depth. But at this moment in time, he's just an upgrade on Lokonga. That's all he really is. Am I lying? Anyone disagree? No? Okay. Fair point. Let's now move on to the next thing. I think my guy Kunle is gone, but we're gonna now talk about Brighton's Mitoma. Yes. Mitoma has absolutely become the talk of the town.
Sorry.
The next person we're going to talk about, my guy, is Mitoma, and Mitoma has become absolutely he has become the talk of the town in across what do you call it, the rest of the Premier League. Everyone is talking about Mitoma, right? And I'm just going to make sure that this
big baller, bro. Big baller. I love him, man. Like 1v1, like he's been doing crazy things to right backs this season, and I think maybe
have a good one.
Sorry.
No, continue. Someone in the chat.
I think maybe that might have been the reason that we didn't overly push the Caicedo thing, because maybe we might want to come back to Brighton in the summer and get Caicedo and Mitoma, and we want them to be able to deal with us. So I would love it.
Reports are saying from the Sun, of course, that 35 million would be enough to get him, prize him away. Also, those reports have been also reported by Fabrizio Romano. Also, if in the case that you guys want me to co-sign, get the Fabrizio Romano co-sign, I could show you the Fabrizio Romano cosign also.
But do you believe it'll be as cheap as that?
35 mil, bro.
Brighton, bro. Do you think Brighton will negotiate? You know, their owner doesn't play when it comes to negotiations. I know what they're saying, but boy, I can't see it come summer because you know he's still going to do some more damage to defensives towards the back end of this season. I can't see it being as low as 35, especially as he's coming on his first season. He must have at least 3 years on his contract too, I'm sure. So I can't see it, but it'll be nice. It'll be nice. Let me not lie.
Hey, all I have to say is the guy is extremely young. His potential is his potential is there. They got him for 3.5. So if they bought him for 3.5 and they're gonna flip him for 35, that is, what is that? 100 times what they originally bought him for?
Bro, but they bought, what's his name, Caicedo for 3.5, and they were trying to talk about 80, 90 million, bro. So you can't put it past Brighton. They got 50 Ben White. You know what I'm saying? They got 60 for Cucurella after one season in the Prem. So they're opportunists, bro. They might think right now, beginning of February, 35 million might make sense. But end of the season, after he's had 8 more goal contributions to his name, which he could easily do, it's a different ball game, I think, in the summer.
Bro,
but let's see.
Not young. He's 26. I didn't realize.
Yeah, he's definitely not young, bro.
He's 25. He's 25.
He's 25, yeah, not 26.
Yo,
and he started professionally like 22 years old or something, I heard.
Yeah, so listen to this story. Listen to this story, right? He came into this club, right? He came into this club, saved them from relegation, and fired them up the league. Like this story was crazy. Last season he joined this club, right? Well, where is it? Where is it? Okay, so he joined that club last season. What was the club name again? Where is it? Okay, so the club name is Union Saint Gomez, right? So you go here, you type in Union Saint Gomez. You see where they are in the league now. They're second in the league now, right? Last season they were in a situation where they were fighting for like relegation type thing. They won the damn thing. How mad is that? Bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I said, yeah, that's nuts, bro. Absolutely nuts. He's a baller. He's a game changer, and he's not scared. Like I heard he did his thesis on dribbling. So he understands the art of dribbling, beating players 1v1.
I've never heard of this club. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never heard of this club. I didn't even know this guy had a trophy to his name. My wife told me about it. He joined this team. When did he join them? You can see the transfer when he made the transfer. 1 second. Let me go check out profile. You go to profile. It will tell you when he did the transfer. So he did the transfer in June 30th. The season already started, right? Mm-hmm. And then bang. Immediately after that, immediately after joining. Wait, was he already at Brighton? Oh shit, he was already at Brighton. Did you know that?
I did not know that. So he must have gone out on loan then for a season.
Brighton got him in August of 2021. They then loaned him away to this club. He got loaned to that club. Then he started banging in goals for that club. Then came back to Brighton, and now he's just banging in goals for Brighton again. The guy is just he's. Let's see all his seasons. I don't know if he's worth all the money that they might want to ask for. But last season, what did he do in that league? Where is it? Yo, he didn't even score that many goals. It's just somehow he just raised their level to go win them the friggin' league. I've never heard of it.
I still think, yeah, definitely things like finishing, he can improve his game on, because I saw against Liverpool he was quite wasteful, but he beats his man nearly every single time he goes. So like that's for me that's the biggest benefit. And we don't have many ball carriers in our squad. Obviously Trossard's one now, ESR's the other one, and he could be another one in our squad as well. And we need a big squad going into the Champions League.
Bro, look at this. They literally just got promoted from the B League into the next league. They friggin' won the goddamn thing. What the hell is this? What kind of shit is this? They went from being in the B tier to then entering the friggin' top tier and winning the goddamn thing. That is mental. The Mitoma story is crazy. Personally, we should buy Brighton scouts as well.
Bro, this is real talk, bro. How do they keep doing it, bro?
It's not the Brighton scouts. It's the owner. The owner has a history in gambling. So what he did is he put a similar approach in how they work the football club. He basically takes gambles on things that are serious, like players that he feels like in certain markets that people don't use, and he gets them in at a certain age, and they work through it. So what market are they working on right now? They work on the Belgian market. If you haven't noticed, Mitoma came from Belgium. They go to South America and they get the Caicedos, they get the friggin' the guys from Argentina in McAllister.
Yeah, but it's the scouts that recommend these things for him, though. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's how they do it, guys. We have 50 people in the chat right now. Make sure you go and goddamn hit that like button and let me know. Mitoma for 35 million. Does that even sound realistic?
Nah, bro. I think they'll ask for 60 minimum, man, and that's when it starts getting a little bit. Because when it gets into those realm of 60, 70, you now start comparing him to what else is available for that type of bracket as well. So it'll be interesting what happens come the end of the season. But if he ends up an Arsenal player next season, I can't see myself being upset, and I can't see anyone in the fan base do.
Would you? Do you guys want anybody else from Brighton? Let's go shopping at Brighton one time.
Who do
Let's go shopping. Bro. Let's go shopping, guys. Let's go shopping. We're gonna go shopping on Brighton's website. 1 second. Let me get this going. So we're gonna go shopping on the Brighton website. We're gonna go to the Brighton team. We're gonna go to the men's squad. We're just gonna look at the squad and we're just gonna say to ourselves, who else do we want from Brighton? They can be our B team at this point. I would take Robert Sanchez, a proper number one goalkeeper. He should go to Tottenham or Manchester United, personally.
Are you joking right now?
I'm dead serious. He's better than Lloris. He's better than De Gea.
And you're recommending him for our rivals. Ban that, bro. I'm not trying to see that.
Yeah, I should have recommended Webster is better than Holding. Dunk, I think he's a little overrated.
He's too old, man.
He's a little overrated. This guy right here, perfect Kieran Tierney replacement.
Colwell, yeah?
Okay, Solly March is doing well, but I don't think his technical ability is
never
of what we need. I would take McAllister in a heartbeat. And if you don't know, Arsenal are actually linked to McAllister. We were linked to McAllister prior to the end of the World Cup. I don't know if those links are for real or legit, but he would cost around 60 to 80 mil.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. I'm all right. I'd like to hear for 80 mil, bro.
Bro, the guy's a World Cup winner. He's 24 years old.
Romero is also a World Cup winner, bro. I don't know, man. For 80 mil, I don't know.
He's 24 years old. They just signed him to a new contract. He's going to cost a lot of money.
I would rather get Tielemans for free than spend 80 mil on McAllister, personally.
Okay. Moving away, Pascal Gross is old. Lallana, nobody wants that. Some of these other guys I never even heard of. Mitoma, we already spoke about. Caicedo. I think we are going to go back in for him. I think we're going to go back in for Caicedo. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think so too. Because the Declan Rice thing, as much as it looked like we were going to get him because of the situation we're in, he lives in London. I, first of all, could never see us signing both, although a lot of the fan base were entertaining that, and I couldn't see it. So I think we go for either or. We try and sign both, and probably Chelsea try and do the same thing and see who wins in it, who's willing to pay the money.
What do you say?
But I'll definitely go back. I'd take him in a heartbeat because he can play as the understudy to Partey. He can also play the Granit Xhaka role. And obviously, Partey is going to be 30 next season. 30. But so we need to have a plan for the future. We need to have a plan for his legs as well. And Caicedo gives us all of that in one, personally.
I hear that. I hear that. You know what?
Do you prefer him or Rice though? That's the question I have to you.
I think you're good. Once you realize who the next person we're going to talk about is, I think you're going to forget. I think you're going to forget about. I think you're going to forget about Rice for a second.
Oh
People,
yeah.
don't forget to hit that goddamn like button right now, people, and let me know who would you rather have, Caicedo, McAllister, or Declan Rice? Because the Declan Rice thing is starting to get interesting, bro. Let me just tell you guys what's going on with Declan Rice, people. Reportedly, reportedly, Manchester United bid 100 million for Declan Rice in the summer before they went and tried to get Casemiro. Apparently, Manchester United were prepared to drop 100 M's on Declan Rice before the window was closing when they just before they got Casemiro. And now, is my volume low? Can you hear me? People.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I don't know. People, let us know if you can hear us
Yo!
loud and clearly. Yeah.
Do you need me to yell? You need me to yell. Turn on my mic. My mic is up. My mic is up. I thought the volume was up. What about now? What about now?
Let us know, comment section. Smash the like button as well.
Damn, let me know if the mic is fine or not. I can't. Nah, you're good, bruv. You see, this is I had the mic all the way on one side. Okay, what about now, people? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what's good. All right, let's get this Declan Rice chat. So, Declan Rice. Let me just give you guys an update on what's going on with
Shoots
Declan
the
Rice.
kit still.
So Declan Rice to Arsenal is actually a possibility, but there's two major things that have happened in the last, I would say, 24 to 48 hours, uh, that has changed the landscape of the potential signing. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think you just went on mute. So the first thing is Manchester United. Reports came out that Manchester United have apparently bid 100 million for the guy before they ended up getting Casemiro. So Manchester United are serious contenders for Declan Rice. As we were concerned about Chelsea in the past and other clubs potentially coming in, Manchester United are now a serious threat to Arsenal when it comes to trying to get Declan Rice, right?
But what in I just double checking with the Rice thing is in the summer. Is there 1 year or 2 years left on his contract?
I think it's 1 year.
1 year. Okay, so he can't. They surely can't be demanding 100 mil at that point. Because for me, he's not a 100 mil player. I'm not ready to spend 100 mil on Declan Rice personally.
I'm just gonna tell you right now that they are and they will be asking for a ridiculous amount of money.
100 mil with 12 months left on your contract.
Listen, did you hear what David Moyes said the other day?
What did he say?
David Moyes said this. Fabrizio Romano even tweeted it out. This was 2 days ago after they got their result versus they got a draw versus Newcastle. He came. David Moyes. I'm sure Declan Rice will be a British transfer record plus more whenever he leaves West Ham. All parties except Declan Rice to expect Declan Rice to leave in the summer after refusing 14 months of a new deal. Declan Rice will have to cost upwards of more than Enzo Fernandez, which will mean they want near 110 million pounds.
That's a joke. That's a big joke, bro. Big joke, bro.
110
that's
million
crazy, bro.
pounds. That's what they want.
Crazy.
That's what they want. And the links to Arsenal have always been around 80 mil, 60 mil, but like 110 million?
Can you see us doing that, bro?
I don't see 110 million. I think that is unrealistic.
I don't see us going beyond 80 mil, bro. I think that's the limit we go with that transfer. 80 M's. If they not accept that, we're going for Caicedo, bro. That's how I see it.
Bro, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. Let me show you what they're saying. Look at this. So this was what dropped yesterday. Yesterday, West Ham always asked for big money for Declan Rice, and it was around 150 million that they wanted just a year ago. I think the price could could be around 90 to 110 million, but it depends on many factors. It's really too early to predict the final price, but Arsenal and Chelsea have always been interested. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 million for Declan Rice. What are we saying? We saying no? We move
I'm
past
saying
it?
no. I'm saying Caicedo is better than Declan Rice, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Caicedo's pros not as slow and not as
Wow. Don't read out that word.
damn,
Rotted.
damn.
Is that how you feel?
He don't like Rice. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not. It's a basmati thing, yeah.
He don't like Rice. I'll tell you that. But yo, it is definitely.
We'll have party rice in the middle of the park, bro. Party rice.
It could work. It could work. It could work. But let me know, people in the chat. Declan Rice, 190 mil.
I want to know if they think he's better than Caicedo, because personally, the only thing that he wins for me in Caicedo is I think Caicedo is a European outside the EU player. I don't know if he takes up the numbers of that, or I don't know if his passport allows him to be considered as a European citizen. I don't know, but for me, Declan Rice is not as good as Caicedo, and I think we get better value for money with Caicedo. Personally, I'll be intrigued to see what the comment section say about that, though.
Yo, Stu MC don't like him. He literally said, "Be like leftover pate rice." Damn, he don't like him at all.
Wow.
But you know what? I think that's pretty much it with that. There's one more major update that I need to give you guys before we leave. One more big update before we leave, because if you guys don't know, there was something that I seen on the internet that I needed to show you guys. Something very positive that I seen on the internet that I need to show you guys. This is Gabriel Jesus, and he is back, ladies and gentlemen, on the football pitch, running around, stretching his legs.
It's things you love to see.
It's good to see that Gabriel Jesus is finally back on the football pitch, doing what he loves best.
Problems.
They're projecting that he could be 2 to 3 weeks away at this moment in time. 2 to 3 weeks away from full fitness.
I'll just mentally prepare myself for the end of the first week of March. Sorry, I'll just mentally prepare myself for then. I don't want to get too excited before then. Let's see.
2 to 3 weeks away from everything, right? That is what they're saying.
Massive boost.
And I'm not done. I left the best for last. ladies and gentlemen. There is one massive story that I still haven't mentioned. There is one massive story that has been
stop tickling me, bro.
There's one story that everyone's saying it won't go away. And personally, I'm starting to believe that there might be legs to this story, because it's absolutely everywhere, every single day. It's Sergej Milinkovic-Savić.
My guy, you know.
Sergej Milinkovic-Savić. Lazio are due to not re-signing him. Yes, Sergej Milinkovic-Savić will actually be leaving Lazio and is due to desire to try not to express himself and get a new contract somewhere else, basically. So let me just read this. Sergej Milinkovic-Savić will leave Lazio due to his desire to try a new experience. His destination now is irresistible. Arsenal remain favorites.
With his decision now irreversible, it says irreversible.
Irreversible. Arsenal now remain the favorites destination of the player, and they have taken the most considered steps.
Convinced steps to the signing.
We don't forget, we've actually bid for him in the past. We've had personal terms agreed with him in the past. We've made concerned efforts to try to sign him in the past. Sergej Milinkovic-Savić is, in my opinion, a Serbian Pogba. That is what I would compare him to. Literally. He can score.
A Serbian Pogba. No, but he's a workhorse, bro. So
he is Granit Xhaka with legs.
Yeah. That's a better comparison.
Okay.
And goals in him as well. Granit Xhaka with goals and legs.
Bro, he's Steven Gerrard. That's what he is.
I'm not ready for that yet, but he's a hell of a player, and he's a player that. Do you know what? I'm convinced Arsenal watch Eagle Talks football. Bro. I'm convinced there's there's people in the team that watch this because Trossard. They saw me talk about him in the summer. He's at our club now. Milinkovic-Savic, I pushed, and who knows? He might be coming to the carpet. This is a steal. He's better than Caicedo and Declan Rice. I would get this guy in straight away. And he's not going to cost them 80, 100 million because they just told us it's irreversible situations with him, Lazio. They can't now ask for a big fee and say irreversible circumstances. So this is a massive opportunity that we could really capitalize on, to be honest. I'm excited about this if this actually happens, bro.
Crazy, bro.
It's mad.
Crazy. And you know what? I'm not done.
Flipping out, bro.
I'm not done.
Everyone's got bombs on bombs.
Just when you thought I was done, there is one more individual.
Wait a minute. You thought I was finished?
One more player we're linked to. And you guys might be sick and tired of these players that we continuously get linked to that nothing happens. But just one more. How about Leao?
Don't do it to me, bro.
We actually could afford Leao. But I don't know if we're going to now drop that same money on a similar position to Trossard. Do you think we would do it?
What? Well, how much are they saying, though?
What?
How much are they saying? What's the quote? What type of figures are they talking?
They're talking similar to Declan Rice money for Leao.
Yeah, I know my club, man. We don't really like to go past the 80 million mark, so... But who knows? If we're Premier League champions, we might start to flex a little bit. Do you get me? But also, you shouldn't sleep on picking City get relegated. They might have some players that we could pick from them as well. You never know.
Okay.
there's lots to look at.
I'm just gonna say we already signed one Euro winner. We're looking to sign another Italian midfielder. Could it be Verratti? Could it be Locatelli? Could it be Nicolai Barella? Who do you think it could be? There's many.
I think Locatelli most likely with what's going on at Juve.
Ding, ding, ding! Juventus are currently in a financial crisis, and Arsenal are reportedly interested in signing Juventus midfielder Locatelli. Reports coming out of Italy. Now, we know that reports coming out of Italy are not the most reliable reports. But at this moment in time, if we went in to Juventus and said, hold 35, 50, 40, whatever we try to give them, they're taking it. They're in such a situation that they're almost looking at whatever money they can get to leave a situation. That's how I look at it. Now, the player himself has no loyalty. He might try to act like he has loyalty. These guys might all act like they have loyalty. But let's be real. Vlahovic didn't want to join us. Rafinha didn't. We didn't get Rafinha. Lisandro Martinez went to Man United. Douglas Luiz is still crying that he didn't get his move to Arsenal. If Locatelli, a person who went over joining us, comes back to us, he's going to realize that he made a mistake in the first place, and he's going to be happy that he comes back. But I don't believe the deal is going to happen. The deal back in October of 2022 would have been around 35 mil. So I would expect it would be around the same price right now. Please increase.
To be honest,
is my volume that bad?
I don't know. I can hear you clearly, but maybe it's because you're talking to me. I don't know, bro. Like Locatelli, I think that ship sailed, man. That's one player that he had his big chance. What happened?
Nothing.
No, like he had his chance last January, and he missed out. So, as much as I wouldn't mind going back in for like a Vlahovic, for Locatelli, there's enough players in that department that we can get that I think are on better form than he's been since he's moved to Juve. So,
they're basically saying Kunle's mic is much louder.
Okay. Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're louder. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, people, we're wrapping up here. Big up Mo in the chat. Big up Judge Mo in the chat doing his thing. Big up everyone who's watched the goddamn video. These transfer videos, when it's outside of the transfer window, is probably not going to be coming as quick and as fast as usual. But whenever there's something to talk about, we'll talk about it, right? For now, the next time we're going to see us, we're going to be back to do a preview for the match, the Brentford game. The preview is going to be on Friday. We're going to also have a weekend predictions on Thursday with all the guys. Everyone's going to be here. And for now, I bid you adieu. Don't forget to check out One Touch's channel. It's in the link is in the description. Just click on it and you can go subscribe to his channel. We got 64 people in the chat right now. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button before you go. We have 66 likes. So I really do appreciate that. And I'm out of here, people. Don't forget, questions, comments, and concerns, whatever you got in the chat, let me know how you guys are feeling about Arsenal. We're going to win this goddamn Premier League, people. Let me know. And do you think we should sign any of the players that I mentioned in this video today? Leave it in the comment section. If you're watching live, once the video is done, leave a comment again, just after the video goes live. And yeah, don't forget to check me out on TikTok. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter, and don't forget to check me out on YouTube. I'm on all 3 platforms. And you know what? My Instagram, I'm not an Instagram model, so I don't really use it too much. But yeah, I'm out of here, people.